Today I want to speak about some myths about the hair. Some myths that we adopt over time because it's so widely circulated that you almost think it's true. And I want to just debunk a few myths that I hear so many times, and I'm just like, why? Does not make your hair grow faster, because your growth process is what the growth process is. A lot of times I believe people believe this, right? Because people have a lot of dead hair and split hair and damaged hair. And they don't want to cut it. They don't want to. They like it. They rather have the length than the health of the hair, so they keep it. So at some point they decide to cut the hair, and it appears that their hair is just growing like crazy. But it's not necessarily that it's now growing. It's been growing. When your hair is damaged, when your hair is split, when your hair is going through so many different crises, unaddressed crises, you can't even see that your hair is growing. Because a lot of times when our hair is breaking, it's breaking as it's growing. So when you don't remove that hair that's dead, that's damaged, that's going through all of this crises, you don't really see the growth in your hair. But it's growing. As long as you're alive, your hair is going to grow. That's a part of living. But I believe that myth is so widely circulated because you can visibly see the growth once you remove that hair. And so I wouldn't say when you cut your hair, that's a myth. You cut your hair going to grow. Not necessarily. It's just that you cut what was dead, and now you've detached it from that growing hair. And it's no longer able to continue to split, like coming down. When your hair split and it's breaking kind of coming down towards your scalp. So if your hair is growing and it's breaking at the same time, you see nothing. It's like if it's growing an inch, it's breaking down another inch or two. But the growth is still happening. I reiterate, when you remove the dead hair, when you remove all of that hair that's going through its own thing, that's not cooperating with you, you see it so clearly. And so we're under the impression that my hair is now growing. So that is a myth. Another myth, that a big myth, when I use all of my potions and all of my creams, my hair can grow long, long, long down my back, down to my feet. Some of us will never have hair that grow down to their feet, their back. It's just not. It's not even in your genetic makeup to have that. No matter how well you take care of your hair, no matter what you do, certain lengths you're never going to have. Certain thicknesses you're never going to have. Why? Because your hair genetic code is not even set up like that. If a person has very long growing hair, and that's just the way their hair is, they can take care of their hair to a point where it may even exceed what they're used to seeing because of the care that they're giving. If you have hair that maybe kind of come like mid-length, you could take care of the hair so much so that the health of it can allow it to grow even more than it normally does. And when I say normally does, I'm saying you're not going to get, if your hair is basically going to come around like maybe say like shoulder length or maybe to your back, with great care and a great hair regimen, yes, it can grow longer. But I'm talking about excessive growth that people are waiting for. Like they're waiting for their hair to come down to their knees. It's not happening. Your hair have genetically, we have different growth cycles. You're in a certain growth phase for a certain amount of time genetically. Some people growth phase stays for years. Some people growth phase are for weeks or for months. It's a genetic thing. But what you can do is take care of whatever growth cycle, whatever DNA genetic code is in your hair, to take care of that to the best of your ability and make that be the best that it can be. I feel sad sometimes because it's like people are really waiting for their hair to grow, excessively. For years. From the time you're a teenager and you're 50 now, you still waiting for your hair to grow down your back. And I'm just like, it's not going to happen. Listen, I don't mean to bust your bubble, but that's not the way our hair is set up. Now, a person who have been reckless with their hair, who haven't taken care of their hair, and they go into this serious hair regimen and they're taking care of their hair, they're eating properly, they're doing all of these things that they're supposed to do, yes, they can expect a lot of hair growth because they just their hair haven't even been able to have its full expression because of neglect. Those things are different. I'm saying that excessive hair growth that people are waiting for, like in a year, they're looking for 8, 9 inches. And some people, guess what? They have that type of hair growth because that's how their genetic hair code is set up. So that myth about, if I rub this cream on my hair, if I buy this product, if I do this, that, and the third, my hair's gonna grow overnight. No. It's not gonna happen. Another myth that I do not like, and I'm just like, why? Where is this coming from? But I get it. When you start talking about certain things and things work for somebody, they feel like they make it like gospel, that it's going to be like conclusive across the board for everyone. You got to shampoo your hair every single week for it to be healthy. Why? You have to shampoo your hair every week for it to be healthy? Why? Every week? First of all, if you have overactive sebaceous glands, that's your oil gland, and your hair gets oily and sticky and weighted down very, very quickly, yes, you might need to shampoo your hair every single week. But for the average person with a very textured hair, coily hair, for the most part, that type of hair drinks up oil. It absorbs oils quickly. It does not secrete oil like that. It absorbs it, meaning it has a higher propensity for dryness and breakage and brittleness. Every time you shampoo your hair, you're releasing the oils, you're releasing the buildup, you're releasing everything that's creating moisture, along with the dirt that's in our hair that builds up from the air, from whatever. You're releasing that moisture. When you are trying to establish a certain moisture balance in your hair, you do not need to shampoo your hair every week, darling. Not every week. No, you do not. And shampooing your hair every week is not making your hair grow. You have to know what's good for you. That's why what works for one person, you got to know if it worked for you. It's the same thing. If I wear something and you say, hey, that looks great on you, that doesn't mean it's going to look good on you. Or vice versa. I could say, wow, I want that. I like that for me. Then I get it and I look like I don't know what. It's the same with our hair. When you see someone doing certain things with their hair and it looks amazing and they can do it, and that's great. Congratulations. But don't automatically assume that the same thing is going to work for you. And in terms of like shampooing your hair every single week, nah, that's not how ethnic and over coily hair is set up. It's not that way. It's not. It really isn't. For me, if you're shampooing your hair every 2 weeks, fine. That works. Because you give at least your hair a chance to even settle in the moistures and all of the great products that you are purchasing to put in your hair to build this level of moisture. Imagine that you put it in, and you shampoo it right out. And like I said, there are always exceptions to a rule. I have some clients, their hair have overactive sebaceous glands. I have some clients, they work in certain atmospheres that cause their hair to be weighty and dirty quickly. For them, yes, ma'am. You need it. Yes, ma'am. But the average person that doesn't have that type of environment, absolutely not. That is a myth. That is a myth. That is a myth. A lot of times we see certain things and we want to do it. Like monkey see, monkey do. That's a real thing. That's a real psychological phenomenon. Is it called herd mentality? Yeah. It's called herd mentality. You see a group, you see a segment of people doing certain things, and automatically it's like just, you want to jump on that bandwagon. Like, why? It's not for you. Certain myths certain things that we hear that other people are doing, we jump on it. I'll give you an example. A client of mine, she told me, she said, well, my auntie or somebody, they used a color in their hair and they used a relaxer the same day, and it was perfect. It was perfect. They bleached their hair and then they put a relaxer on it the same day, and it was absolutely fine. Their hair didn't break. Their hair didn't do anything. I said, well, I would not recommend that for you, because as a rule, those two chemical compounds, you don't mix them together in the same day. Even if you're not even mixing them in the same day, you could have such detrimental effects. Can't tell grown people what to do, but I can highly recommend as a professional, don't do that. Why did her hair not fall out? Why did she not have the issue? I have no idea. Maybe she have a different texture. Maybe that was her first time doing it. Maybe it's a lot of different variables, right? Stop looking at people and assuming that what's good for them is good for you. It is not. It is not. When you start to understand that what you do is for you and what they do is for them, your hair can be healthier. Stop trying to follow trends. Certain, I'll give you an example, personal example. I love when I see women with their braids going straight back. I love it. It looks beautiful. And a lot of women, they could do that. When I have my hair going straight back, I always lose edges. Always. Even if it's not even that tight. It's like that straight back pattern does not work for my hair. My edges, it's something coming out. Something's coming out. I've done it for years. I left a little bit of the edges out. That it's just a straight back pattern don't work. I have to angle mine because my hair it doesn't do well being snatched straight back. If I angle it, I'm fine. But that straight back business, not for me. But guess what? A lot of people can do it easy with no loss, no nothing. You got to know what's for you and stop jumping on the bandwagon with all of these myths about hair, and then you mess around and damage your hair, and now you do something to your hair that's irreversible. And now you got to eat that because you want to follow the, you want to follow the crowd. Certain things are just myths with our hair, ladies and gentlemen. Certain things are not true. They're not. They're just not. They're just not true. Sorry. They're just not. They may appear to be true, but it's not entirely what it seems to be. As you see in life, as you continue to live, you see certain things are not cracked up what they are seen or shown to be. So I thank you so much for listening to this channel. This is the Bajo channel, home of self-care, beauty, wellness, and any and everything that'll help you to become the most empowered version of you. And remember, self-care is the best care. Later.